Welcome to another video. So in this video we're going to be installing the Thinkware dash cam, and we're going to be going step by step. We're not just going to do a fast over or see this is what this person did with no explanation. We're going to take apart all the trim and we're going to install it correctly. So just some background information. I work in DC and commute there every day. So the last 3 or so years I've had 2 people hit me, and not bad, but they did hit me. So maybe I'm a little bit older, but in my day, you know, people were responsible when they made mistakes. I understand everybody makes mistakes, but both cases they denied it when it come time for the insurance company. I've got another BMW. It's a 750 I got it with 50,000 miles on it, and I got it from Copart wrecked. It's a 2014, and if you're interested in what it took to repair it, you know, take a look at it. I mean, it's a $25,000 car. I got, you know, about a little over 7,000 in it. So at any rate, I'm looking to protect it. So I started looking around, and you know, I said, well, I'm going to get an original BMW, their Advanced Pro 3.0 or whatever it is, and put that in. But evidently, they only make it available for newer BMWs. So I did some research and what's best and what's good. Well, evidently, this Thinkware is making them for BMW. And if you compare the photos, they look exactly the same, except it's got a BMW sticker on it. So, I mean, I wouldn't, you know, 100% guarantee it, but more than likely, that's the way it's coming out. So, if you get the Thinkware dash cam and you get the whole setup, it's about the same cost as the BMW Pro also. So, what we're going to do, we're going to go over everything, and I'm going to tell you what you get in the box. So there is you can see here, you can plug it into your service port under your dash, and you're done wiring it. You don't have to hardwire anything in. So I actually ordered that separately because I was like, you know what, that's the easiest thing to deal with. I don't have to mess with any fuses or get to a fuse location. I'll just plug it in and I'm done. But they give you one in the box, so now I got an extra one. And they also give you a cigarette lighter one, which I don't want. I don't want wires hanging down from my, you know, behind my mirror down into the cigarette lighter. That's like trashy. Anyway, you can also get the hardwire kit. And they also have backup batteries. They have 2 different strengths. So if you park your car for long periods of time, you can get a backup battery, and, you know, so it's not draining your car battery, because it will monitor your car battery. And if your car battery starts going down to a point, it will shut the park part off. So this has radar, so it monitors your park. If somebody walks too close to it, it'll start recording, bumps it, or anything else while it's parked. So it's got a lot of good features, and there's no installation instructions with it, but I'm going to leave a link of where you can download the instructions. But like I say, this is a BMW 750 2014 FO2, and we're going to go through installing it step by step, everything you got to do. And all BMWs and cars are going to be very, you know, similar to the install. But any rate, first thing you got to do is unhook the battery, because you're going to be messing around airbags. And whenever you get around the airbag, you want to make sure the battery's unhooked. So that's the first thing we're going to do, and then we'll start going step by step. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is remove the pillar. So it's got this little thing in there, and you just need to take something, get behind it, a plastic pull or whatever. You can see it just snaps in there. So you unsnap that. The sun's right there, isn't it? And then there's a torque screw. So you take that torque screw out, And then you basically just have to get your fingers or a plastic wedge behind it and pull on it, pull it out. So you're pulling it out from the top here, and then you slide it up some to get it out of the dash there, and it'll pop right off. So we're going to get that done, and then we'll move on to the next thing. Okay, so our pillar's out. As you can see, they're just like clips there. And that's why you're pulling it away from the top, and the bottom actually slides down behind the dash there. And there's no real clips on the bottom, it's just got tabs that hold it in. So we're going to do that. Then the next thing you got to do, this thing here just pops right off. Just grab hold of it. It's got like a couple little clips in there. It just pops right off. Get that out of the way. Then we're going to come down here and we're going to pop this centerpiece out. Let me see if I can show you here. Okay. So then we got one Torx here in the middle. Then there's Torx, but they're like push plug Torx. They're all plastic. But anyway, you take that out and you take these out, and this middle piece will pull right up. You can grab hold and pull it. Only thing you got to kind of be careful, like if these plastic pieces, the bottom part will stay in. When you pull it up, they pop out and they go flying, so try not to lose them. At any rate, we're going to get that piece off next, and like I said, then you just grab hold and pull it up, and then we'll move on and see what's next. So that piece is out, and you can kind of see what I mean. These, with the plastic, they're like push pins, but they got the little Phillips screw in there, I guess, so you can get them out. It's not a Phillips, I'm sorry, a Torx screw, so you can get them out. Any rate, that piece comes right out. It's not difficult. Next thing we got to do is there's a Phillips screw for the handle. So you take this Phillips screw out and you get that out. Then there's one more Phillips screw right there under the handle. You get all that out, and then you pull on it from the back here. And when you do that, it'll unclip, and then there's a plug for your trunk release. So we're going to get that out, and then we'll move on. Okay, so now we move to the back. Same thing, we got one of those things, plastic piece in the middle, trim piece. We just pop that up, pull that off, easy. We got the one steel Torx and a couple plastic Torx. Take all those out, pull straight up on it, and it will come out. So we're going to do that next, and then we'll move on. Okay, that piece is out. If you look at it, it does go up under the seat a little bit, so you got to kind of wiggle it around to get it out, but it will come out. Next thing we got is we got a plastic Torx here, and there's one in the front too. But what we have to do is we have to pop this off, and there'll be a screw behind here. Let's see. Anyway, pop that off. There's a screw behind there. Take the screw out. And then you need a plastic piece to pull this away. So if you pull this out some, it doesn't have to come completely off. It's got the belt going through there, but you got to pull it out. Then you take this plastic screw out here and you pop this loose, and it will lift up and come out. So this duct here goes down here and will slide out of the piece down here. Now there will be a plug in it. I guess it's monitoring whether it's opened or closed. I don't know why else they'd have a plug in the vent like that, but there is a plug in it, so you got to unplug it, which is not hard to do. But we're going to do that next, and then we'll move on. Okay, so that part's out. So now you can see we're getting a nice clean shot all the way back, and we can pull the carpet a little bit and shove wires. There's a whole lot of wires down there anyway. And now the fun part. So we got to remove the rear seat. So to remove the rear seat, you lift up on the front here, and it'll just pop up, and then you kind of slide it forward, and there'll be plugs in there. So depending on your options, whether you have heated rear seats or cooled rear seats, you know, you'll have different plugs, but there should be a plug on each side, and also one for your seatbelt warning. So you unplug all those and then you can take the seat out. So we're going to do that next. And like I say, you just got to pull up on it. It just clips in the front here. Lift up, slide it forward, unplug, and get it out. So we're going to get that done next. Okay, so now you can see there's one Torx there, bottom of the seat. This is the bottom of the seat. There's one Torx over there. Also, you pull this middle piece down, pull your cover off, and there's two Torx there. 1, 2. So we're going to take those 4 Torx out. Then what you have to do is you have to get under here and lift up. And this may be easier with 2 people. You can do it with 1. But you just lift up on the bottom of the seat a little bit and it will unclip in the back. So you don't want to pull it out, you want to lift it up. Got to come up about 1 inch or 2, and then the whole seat will be loose and it will come out. One person, you may have to go back and forth a couple times lifting up on it, but try it and you can get it. Okay, so you don't have to take the back seat completely out, just lay it forward. And then we have our piece here. So we got like number 10 nuts, plastic nuts that we need to take out. Also, what we got to do is we have another airbag thing with the Torx behind there. We need to take out this top piece first. So that will get us access all the way up here to the back, and then we'll be able to run the wire across and install our camera in the back. So you have to take this piece out in order to get this piece out. So again, the seatbelt goes through it, so you don't have to take it completely out, but we have to take it loose. So we're going to do that next, and then we'll move on and see what's left. Okay, so this piece is out. I always like to see how things are once they come out, so it gives you an idea how you can take it apart. You see the little tab on there, and there's a little tab down here. So the piece just like slides back. So what you're basically doing is pulling it out a little bit and then pulling it forward to get it out. So we got that piece off. Now this piece just has like a 5/16 screw back there. You can use a 5/16, I'm sure it's some metric size, but at any rate, you take that little screw out and then we can start working this top piece off. But once you take all the number 10 bolts out, down here, and then we can start working that all off together. So we're going to do that next, and then we'll move on. Okay, so everything's out. We can now start installing our camera. So I think we're going to start from the rear and work our way forward. So when you install this, one of the common mistakes people seem to make is installing it over one of the defrost heaters, so the line shows up on your camera the whole time. So we're going to try not to do that, but at any rate, we're going to go ahead and see what we got to do. We're going to get everything together to mount our rear camera. Okay, so the centerpiece just clips right off. It's just got clips in there. You just pop it off right there, and then your wire, you'll be able to get it, you pull down a little bit, you don't have to pull much, and you can get the wire behind the roof there, the roof cover. So any rate, it looks like, now they say you can switch the camera view around, but you want to put it, right side up, so you don't want to put it upside down. But the plug is actually, unless it's made for England, we're in the US and we're a left-hand drive car, not a right-hand drive car. So the cable's got to come around and go into it to keep it right up if you're going to run the cable down on the driver's side. I guess you could run it on the passenger side, but I started doing it on the driver's side, which is fine for me. The reason I did that is because of the way the plug is for the power. So at any rate, we're just going to take it, loop it around and get it underneath. We can get it underneath this a little bit and go ahead and mount it back there. So we're going to do that. Okay, so there it is mounted. Put the cover back on. I guess it's okay that way. They give you little sticky tabs too if you want to put a tab on there. I stuck it underneath the third brake light trim there. It's just rubber. So it seems okay that way. Or, you know, like I say, they give you these little sticky things that you can run the wire through. You can mount on the windshield. Next we got it over here coming out, and we're gonna fish it all the way up front. So we're gonna get that done next, and then we'll move on to see about mounting the front one. So next, that's the sticker that this goes on to. And if you look at the back of it, it just clips on there. It just clips and slides across. So, you know, where you mount it exactly is your preference a little bit. But, you know, you're supposed to try to be towards the center as much as possible. So I have my wire hanging down here, and you're able to stuff it so you can pull on here lightly and jam a wire up in there, and then you get over here on the side. So what you want to do is, you know, you mount your front camera and then run your plug, and then you can pull the slack back because it's going to be longer than you need. You see here it is. So we, you know, fished it up through here, which is easy enough, and then we're going to, you know, stick it down in the back there to roll it up inside here, any extra. And then we also got to get the power supply through there. So we're going to set the camera there, and we're going to run the power supply, and then we'll move on and see what's next. Okay, so it's installed. The wires are all tucked up here. I use one of them little sticker things to hang a wire right there. They give you like 3 of them. And then we run the wire down the thing here. So the power, you're able to fish it down through there, and then it'll come out the bottom where your OBD connector is. Let's see, right there. So this part just plugs right in and you're done. You know, you ever need to do some testing or whatever, you just unplug it, plug it back in. So as you can see, we got a lot of extra wire. So I'm gonna roll it up and put a couple wire ties on it and stuff it in here, and it should be good. We got to put it all back together. So all in all, I'll tell you the truth about what I think. I know I was looking for prices, and I know BMW, they were getting prices anywhere from $1,200 to $1,600 to install this. Is it a lot of work? It's not that hard, but it's a day's work. I mean, by the time you take all the trim apart is what's taking the time, not installing it. And the rest of it is all set up, personal preference, what have you like that. All in all, it's really not that tough. The only other thing, if you want the backup battery, it looked like most people were setting the backup battery under the seat, and then you have to run to pick up a fuse. So they actually on their website have a video showing how to hardwire it in, because a backup battery has to be hardwired. You can't do it through the ODB port. Anyway, I hope this helps you out. You know, I think I'm going to enjoy it. So we just got to put it back together. Be sure to subscribe. We got tons of videos on all kind of stuff for these cars. Repairs, upgrades, you name it, we got it. You have a pleasant day, and we'll see you in the next video.